Hello everybody, Slim Kirby here. Welcome to the next game of the NES Marathon. We have the original Metroid for the NES. Metroid is a series I have covered on my channel before, but much like Zelda, this is a game that I was not very familiar with until much later on in life, so I did not cover this game first. Emergency order: defeat the Metroid of the planet Zebeth and destroy the Mother Brain, the mechanical life vein, from the Galaxy Federal Police. That's the basic plot of this game, not really a whole lot to talk about. You control the bounty hunter, I was looking for the right word there, Samus Aran, and she's going to wipe out the forces of the Mother Brain. You start off in the area of Brinstar, located in the middle of planet Zebes. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the left because we have our first item here, and we kind of need this item to actually get further into the game. So this is the Morph Ball. The Morph Ball will allow us to, well, turn into a small ball and roll through very small, tight tunnels that we cannot just walk through because Samus has a 2-tile vertical size, so she can't walk through those tiny areas, unfortunately. But with the Morph Ball, she can. And now we're just going to go pick up some items. Along the way, we're going to find some bosses that we need to destroy. Once we destroy all the main bosses of the game, we can then fight Mother Brain, and that's pretty much this game in a nutshell. Now, much like Zelda, I feel like this game's biggest flaw/drawback is basically not really having a map system. There is a map for this game, but you have to pretty much use outside sources to find it, or as we would call it, the internet. Back in the old days, you had to kind of rely on making your own hand-drawn map to figure out where everything is, which definitely wasn't great. It definitely shows the age of some of these games, but you know, back then, I guess video game design and development didn't really think about all those bells and whistles, I guess. So, we have a long way to go, we have a lot of ground to cover, but that's okay. This will be a 100% playthrough of the game, so I'm going to get all the items and all the missile and energy expansions. So, a true 100% playthrough. This is actually only the second time of me playing through this game and beating it, though. I've tried to play through several times in the past, but I just never really had the drive to finish it until, much like the original Legend of Zelda this year, when I was like, you know, I'm doing the NES Marathon this year, let me just buckle down and finally beat this game. And I actually got through this game pretty easily. I had some difficulty here and there, but, you know, it's something you just gotta overcome and get better at. And I was thrilled to finally beat this game. I did get to play this a little earlier than I did the original Legend of Zelda, though, because this game was available in both Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission. Once you beat Metroid Zero Mission, you pretty much get this game as a side game you can play through. And in Metroid Fusion, I believe you have to link your Metroid Fusion cartridge with your Metroid Prime save data from your GameCube, and it would unlock the playing the original Metroid feature in the Metroid Fusion cartridge. So that's how I first got to play the original Metroid, and couldn't really make a lot of progress until much later. But I am glad I finally made that progress, because honestly I do think this game is pretty solid for what it is. I mean, I wouldn't say this is my favorite Metroid by any stretch of the imagination, but as a startup game, it is pretty good. I just, again, hate the fact that there's no map in this game. That's like the only drawback, as I said before. And this is why I think Super Metroid is a fantastic game, because it had great gameplay and the map system, which was actually really helpful and allowed you to kind of figure out where you need to go. It encouraged item exploration and using items in unique ways to find more items, and it was just a really, really great game that expanded way beyond the scope of what this game has to offer. But, you know, I have to give this game credit where it's due. It did set up a pretty good framework for future Metroid games to come. But we did get the missiles now. In order to use missiles, you have to press the select button to switch to them. You'll know you have the missiles equipped if your blaster turns blue. And you can use missiles to defeat enemies faster. Probably something you shouldn't do unless you're fighting a boss. And to open red locked doors. So if you see a red door, you can use missiles to break them open. I'm doing a little bit of energy farming right here. I don't exactly need to, but the early part of the game is actually pretty difficult because you don't really have a lot of health. You even start with your energy like at 30 when you can have technically a max of 99, so they kind of disadvantage you at the start. It kind of encourage you to pick up some more health while you're going through this. But, you know, if you get some health and grind some enemies for a bit, you can have enough health to at least get to your first energy tank, which will not only refill your energy, but also give you an extra 99 energy to work with as well. So now that we have the missiles, we're going to go back to the blue shaft. I'm going to give some rooms nicknames to kind of give you guys an idea of where to go, because there will probably be some cuts in this project at some point where I'll need to backtrack or go back to an existing area, because sometimes you have to travel really, really long distances. So if I ever say the blue shaft, I'm talking about this room right here. Basically the first vertical shaft you find. And the yellow shaft is the second one you find. That's literally just to the right of where we are now. So I think we're not supposed to go in this door. We're supposed to go in the bottom door, but I do want to kind of show this off really quick. This is eventually where we will be going, because this does lead to the final area of the game. So once we have completed our primary objectives of beating the bosses of the Mother Brain, her henchmen, I guess you could say, we'll come back here, and then we'll be able to actually go towards the main boss herself. So that's pretty much what we're doing. And you can tell that this is where the ending is, because the enemies here are a little rougher than the ones we've already been fighting. And yeah, here's our first red door. As you can see, the door shade also turns blue whenever you switch to missiles, so that's another indicator you can use to know if you have missiles equipped. So yeah, we will be back in this room at the end of the game, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and cut back to the blue shaft and go in the other door we passed by. Okay, here we go. Let's actually go to where we're supposed to go. This is, I think, an optional upgrade, but definitely one you probably should have, because this one will give you a huge advantage in getting through this game, because as you can see, whenever we fire our normal blaster, the blast doesn't go really far. It only goes like 1/4 the screen. But if we go in here and grab this upgrade, this is the long beam, which will greatly increase the distance of our shot, and we can shoot a lot farther. And yeah, it's pretty much the entire screen length, which is really, really helpful. You really kind of underestimate how useful this ability is, because when you can hit from a distance, you can essentially hit enemies earlier before they attack you, and again, it's just really, really helpful. It doesn't up the damage or anything, but just having that extra range is very, very good. I'm also going to try to keep my missiles stocked up as well, because we'll definitely need those. We only have 5 missiles to work with, but we'll definitely be upgrading that at a future date and time. Also, if I pause and stop for a few seconds, that's me just checking my notes to see where to go next. I am using kind of a guide to help me get through all of these areas, because I am not that familiar with the map of this game yet. I feel like over time I will definitely get better at it, especially since there's not really a huge amount of collectibles in this game. But still, it's very easy to get lost in this without a map, and I feel like having a map is honestly just going to be a better thing for this playthrough. So now we're going to go through and go to the right side of Brinstar. And I have very low health. That is not good. This is definitely not good. I need to be very, very careful, and oh my god, no, 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 get out, get out. Okay. I need to not do stupid things like that. because first of all, that beeping is really annoying, and second of, oh god. Oh my god, I have 1 health. Oh, Jesus. Oh my god. Okay, can I make it to the first energy tank with only 1 health? Can I actually do that? Come on, Samus, you can do it. I have the tiger, you can do this. Yes! Oh my god, I survived having 1 health. I really should have died right there. I really should have died, but you know what? I didn't. I'm going to take my victory, and I'm going to be happy about it. Because that's just what I do. That's how I do it, and I do it very well. I like to think so, anyway. But, you know, I did kind of talk about the map being or lack of map being a huge downfall of this game. Honestly, there's a lot of other things about this game that are kind of archaic in design. The fact that you can't duck and shoot is a huge disadvantage, so if there's ever an enemy that's kind of at Samus's leg length, so basically the tile where her legs are, she can't actually hit it unless she uses an item we'll be getting here in a little bit. But, yeah, there's no way you can shoot enemies at her feet length. You have to actually wait for them to get on a wall or the ceiling or above you or in front of your face before you can actually hit them. Unless you have this item, which are the Morph Ball Bombs, which are really nice. You can lay them on the ground and kind of use them to explode enemies. But you have to kind of hit them continuously with multiple bombs. You can't just like lay one and hope it destroys it. I'll definitely showcase them at the end of this room here. But yeah, you can't shoot while crouching. You can't shoot downwards. You can only shoot left, right, and up. Which, you know, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, at least you can shoot up. You don't have to shoot, like, just left and right, which could be really, really bad in some cases. But that's, again, just kind of the archaic old design of this. Another feature I like about Super Metroid is how you can jump up and shoot down, like, when you're jumping, if there's, like, an enemy up below you. That's always been, like, a nice feature of the game, too. But now that we have the Morph Ball Bombs, we can access a few more secrets. The next upgrade we're going to get is the Ice Beam, which will actually be a very, very useful power-up for not just now, but also the end game. You pretty much can't beat the game without the Ice Beam, I think. Maybe you can, but it just becomes a lot harder because there are some very nasty enemies at the end of the game that can absolutely wreck you if you do not have the Ice Beam. In fact, I don't think they can even be destroyed unless you have the Ice Beam, but I don't know. There might be ways. I really don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That's what I've been told anyway. But you know how, like, speedrunners are and game breakers, they can break these games in ways that you could never imagine, which is just incredible. So in this room, and make sure you're in this room, not the room that looks like this on the left side of this little corridor. Fall down through here. It's a fake pit of acid, and down here is where we can find the Ice Beam. After we get through this room, obviously. Also, I just thought of something. I really hope I don't need any missiles for this next room. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do. I might want to grind for those before I go any further. Yep. Okay, hold on. Okay, now with the missiles, we can go ahead and get through this door. Oh, something else I hate about this game. Enemies can hit you while you're going through a door transition, so be careful of that whenever you're going through a room, because, yeah, that's just really, really stupid. I hate that that's a thing, but what are you gonna do? I understand they were trying to go for realism right there. If you go through a door, yeah, they'll probably follow you, but still. Anyway, with the Ice Beam, we can now freeze enemies. I don't think it's really that much powerful. than the normal long beam, but it does freeze enemies and allows them to do nothing for a small bit. And it allows you to kind of rapid fire and keep enemies in place, which is really, really nice for just kind of, well, wrecking the floor with them anyway. So let's see, can I... Oh crap, do I need an enemy up here? Great, I think I need to get an enemy. But wait, there's no enemies in here unless I have to get one from the other room, which I don't think is the case. That'd be really, really stupid if that was. That can't be it. Yeah, I don't think it is. Let me try again. The jumping is also kind of weird in this game where, I don't know, like, you have to press the jump button at just the right time with the right frequency press of the up button on the control pad, because you can definitely... Oh, wait, no, you do that. Okay. You have to kind of phase into the block to kind of give you that extra boost up into the room, which I guess is kind of stupid, but what else are you going to do? So yeah, right there, checking my notes again. Gonna get another upgrade now. Next upgrade we're gonna go for is, well, I think we're first gonna get like some missile expansions. But the next main upgrade we're going for is gonna be the Various Suit, which you can actually get with the Ice Beam, but you're intended to get it later when you have the high jump boots. But I'm going to go ahead and do this now, because I think it's kind of a cool use of your weapon to actually get an item early. It'll also make the first boss hideout a lot easier, too. Kind of funny, of the two boss hideouts, they intend for you to go inside the Brinstar hideout first, but I almost feel like the Norfair hideout is actually easier, so the second boss is actually a lot easier than the first boss. And it's not really even a case of you having like better equipment or anything. It's just easier because the second boss is pretty much a pushover. But we'll be seeing that later. We need to focus on the first boss first, which hopefully I don't get frickin' wrecked by him, which I tend to do at times. There's like a very, very specific strategy you want to use for doing damage to him. But I'll talk about that later when we're actually there. We're still in the early parts of this game. I see this about being Zelda length, like in terms of videos. So probably about like 5 or 6 videos. May even be a little shorter than Zelda, honestly. Because, yeah, I mean, Zelda had 8 dungeons to go through and a huge overworld. This game is nothing but overworld and, you know, 2 sectors where you fight bosses. I guess technically 3, but the 3rd sector is like, whatever. Not really even a big thing to talk about or mention. So yeah, this won't take me too many videos. I have a feeling that I'll be done with 3 of the games for the NES Marathon in like less than 2 weeks. And it's just like, oh, I was scared I'd be able to fit in 5, but I'm already done with 3 of them, so guessed I terribly misjudged that. But it's okay. So yeah, we're gonna go pick up the expansions I talked about first, because you could honestly get the Various Suits upgrade just by going up in that last room, but I'll save that for just a small bit. Let me get a few things first. That way I can just kind of go back, get it on my way back, and then make my way to the first hideout, which is where we are going to be going first after we get these upgrades in this little corridor, I guess. Okay, so there's the next missile expansion. Every missile expansion gives you 5 missiles, which is nice. So now we can hold up to 10. Unfortunately, though, whenever you get a missile expansion, you don't expand, like, you don't get full missiles after you get it. You just get those 5 missiles that you got to add to your expansion, basically. Although I suppose it would be kind of broken if, like, you had like only 5 missiles remaining, and then you have like over 200 missiles, and you just get your tank, and you're like, oh, here's 200 missiles I can just burn on random enemies. So yeah, I guess I can understand the reasoning why they did that way. And here's our second E-Tank. So now we have 9 times 3. So that's 297 damage. That's a lot of damage, especially considering the enemies do like only like 10 right now. But I am not complaining. I am definitely not. I feel like for an old arcade game like this, you need as much damage as possible, because you're probably going to get hit by a lot of enemies, and just trying to avoid them